I've been a flower farmer for 6 years, and this year I'm done. I'm going to tell you all about it in today's video, but I want to work on a project while we're talking. So let's go get our supplies. All right, so we've got our pussy willows, and I also cut some, this is flamingo willow. It's also called dappled willow. And I went ahead and cut that because I know this wreath maker is really cool. I love it, but you need a lot of material, and my pussy willows are still very young, so I don't have that much. So hopefully that'll just give us a little bit of bulk. For the wreath that I'm picturing, I don't know. We're just gonna play it by ear and see if we can create it. I thought, well, while we did that, I could just talk to you a little bit about my experience flower farming and why I'm not doing it anymore. I have been a flower farmer, as I said, for 6 years, and it was a dream of mine, and it came true, and I'm very, very proud of that. My husband was always supportive, and it was kind of scary starting out. I live on a half an acre, and he was kind of like, that's not going to be enough. And I even thought that too, but yeah, it is. It was enough. I grew a ton of flowers on a half an acre, and I had very supportive customers. It grew and it grew and it grew. Every year it was bigger and better than the year before. I started out selling out of the back of my car at a little local store, and eventually we got a flower cart to have here on our property. That was really exciting and much more convenient than hauling things to the store. And what else? I did subscriptions, so people would sign up, and once a month I would make a bouquet and take it and deliver it to them. That was exciting. My son even did a veggie subscription one year. He wanted to make some money, so he grew vegetables and sold them. He had a little subscription for that. I did our local prom and did some weddings, lots of little events too along the way. I even had garden clubs that wanted to come and visit my flower farm, and found it, inspiring to them, and that was really exciting to get to show off what I had built. I ended up doing some workshops in the fall and teaching people how to make bouquets, and we did a couple of workshops, pumpkin flowers with pumpkins, dried things. We did a paperweight, so lots of good, so much that I'm proud of. But to everything there is a season, and my season for selling flowers has come to an end. I love flowers. I love growing them. I don't love selling. I really don't love selling. I struggle with marketing and pushing my product. That's very difficult for me. I don't find it natural, and I don't like sounding salesy. So I feel like I've tried and done well, even though I really loathe it. But that's one of the reasons that I'm just kind of over. I'm over that. I did grow a following on our local Facebook, and had people, that regularly came, and had customers that were always excited no matter what I was doing. They were excited about it, and I just want to say how much I appreciate those faithful people. who did keep me going, but it gets old. It gets old trying to pedal and push. The second reason I'm not selling flowers anymore this year is because growing flowers and a flower farm specifically is way more stressful than people think. I think we give it a Instagram beautiful, everything is good all the time view, and that's not realistic at all. It's hard work. It's really hard work. It's digging. There's like heavy loads of stuff. Thankfully, I had a lot of help in that area. My son and husband, my daughter too, but especially them with the heavy stuff. You know, my husband would use his tractor and move stuff for me. But at the end of the day, it was still my business and my farm, and so there was a lot on my shoulders as far as that goes. It also, like, you can't control so much. Maybe I'm a control freak, but I can't control the weather. So you have these brides that want certain flowers. There's many times I grew flowers specifically for certain people that had asked for this color, this variety. Sure, I can do that, but I can't guarantee that it's going to bloom when you need it. So that's a stress I think people don't think about. It's not, we just can't make flowers bloom right when we want them to. If I had that power, that would be pretty awesome. So stress, and again, the weather. I was fortunate. We live in a very windy area, and there were times I was pretty stressed about the wind and things getting blown over or whatever. And I made out well, I really did, but we have really hot summers, and lately they've been very dry, and that is a hard thing to deal with. We've had extremely wet springs, so it's like you're always kind of doing this juggling act of, do I need to water? I can't do anything if it rains too much, you know. So there's some stress there, and I learned to make boundaries, but when I first started out, I didn't want to say no to anyone. So I think I mentioned I was working full time, and someone would message me and ask if they could get a bouquet that evening or late afternoon or whatever, and I'd say yes. And so I'd have to rush home from work and, you know, basically say hi bye to my family, and then I'm out in the fields working, creating this bouquet and stuff. So I got better about that as time went on, but initially there was a lot of demand, and just learning. No, I didn't work a 9-to-5, but I needed to create some boundaries. Speaking of boundaries, sometimes people would just think that they could just stop by, and that I was always here, and that I was always just ready to give a tour. So keep that in mind. If you know anyone who has their own business at their home, that's not okay. It's not okay to just stop by unannounced and expect to be given their time, but because they probably had a plan for that day, and so that only happened a couple times, but it's kind of funny. Now the third, final, the biggest reason that I'm not flower farming anymore, I kind of alluded to it a little bit. I didn't even mean to, but I said something about juggling. We're all juggling lots of things, right? I was juggling being a flower farmer, a mom, a wife, an employee, a friend, all these things, you know, and it gets to be a lot sometimes. Sometimes we're carrying too much. And my kids are getting older, and I can see the flip side that you want to spend time with your kids when they're little too. My kids are, they're everything to me, and they're very important, and I just feel it more and more as they're getting older that the time I have with them here at home is dwindling. And we'll always be close, we'll always be friends and stuff, but come on, moms, it's different, right? If they move out or whatever, go away to college, it's going to be different. And it's really important to me to spend as much time with them as I can and make the memories, do the fun things, and enjoy them. And I found that I was struggling. It was such a good problem, to be honest about it, because the flower farm was growing so much that I was having trouble keeping up. And it's such a good problem, but I wasn't willing to sacrifice my time with my kids just to have a successful flower farm. And I wasn't willing or ready to get into hiring someone. I don't know that much about that. And I don't know. I didn't have the energy to learn, I guess. But I heard this analogy a long time ago, and it really, really stuck with me. And this is, as I was thinking about what I wanted to share with you, it came to mind. It's about juggling. And so we're all juggling balls of life, balls. Maybe you are juggling, we'll just use me. Okay, so I'm juggling being a full-time employee. I'm juggling owning my own business, which was very foreign to me. I didn't have a lot of help figuring the business aspect of stuff out. Juggling being a mom, a dog mom, like I said, a friend. So we've got all these balls that we're trying to juggle all the time. And the analogy was that some of those things we're juggling, some of those things are glass. We have glass balls that we cannot drop. Do not drop them no matter what. The other balls are rubber, so it's not going to matter too much if they fall, if they drop. But those glass ones, you got to hold on tight, right? So if I think about things that I could drop, it would be like the laundry. Like, it feels super important, but if it doesn't get done, no one's going to die. It's not that big of a deal. Cooking, cleaning, yes, they're important, and I really try to stay on top of things. My type A personality. But if we have to order out, it's not the end of the world for a night or even two, right? But the 3 glass balls that I am not willing to drop are my relationship with the Lord, first and foremost, is the most important thing in my life. My relationship with my husband, being a good wife and being there to support him in whatever ways he needs, and being a good mom to my children. So those are my glass balls. I will do whatever it takes to make sure I am catching them and not dropping them. And it became true to me that flower farming is a rubber ball. If I drop it, I'm okay. Nothing's going to happen. So that's why I'm not selling flowers this year. I do, however, plan to still grow a lot of flowers and even change things in the gardens. And one thing I learned about myself as I was a flower farmer and trying to post a lot on social media and things to drum up the business, I found that I really enjoy teaching. And so my hope and goal is to spend more time showing what I learned, what I have learned, what I am learning. Right now I'm learning I can't cut that many at one time. But to help others grow, and I've gotten such nice comments that, you know, I've inspired people to grow their own flowers, and I'm so thrilled with that, because it just means the world to me that something I'm doing inspired you to do something in your yard, in your garden. And so I want to focus a lot more on that. And now that I'm not worrying about selling, you know, as I'm making this wreath, I'm just thinking, which it's turning out kind of cool, I think. It's very spiky. I feel like I might run out. But anyway, when I was flower farming, selling things, everything I did, I was thinking, how can I sell this? How can I promote this? I have to make 20 of these. And, you know, I lost a little bit of my creativity and the joy in doing things, because everything felt like I have to do this. I have to sell it. I have to, you know, promote it, like I said. So, I don't know. I'm just excited about doing flowers because I love them, and planting the things that bring me joy, and showing you all along the way what I'm up to and things like that. So, as I said, there's seasons for everything, and my season for selling flowers is done, but I still will grow flowers, and maybe my season for teaching is more blossoming now. Along those lines, I wanted to also just mention this page, this channel has been awesome support for our family for years, and you can probably just tell that we're going to change it a little bit. The kids are older and they're not really interested, rightfully so. They're not really interested in being in videos anymore, and we want to respect that. And so the channel will pretty much just be me going forward. Seth has his very successful channel. My husband, if you don't know him, he's over at Red Eye Garage. You'll see all the garage stuff there, the Jeeps, the mechanics stuff, the stuff I do not understand. But if you are into gardening or baking, I really love baking, or you know, just simple crafts that I'm doing, sewing, or sometimes the dogs. That's the kind of stuff I'm going to be showing on this channel from now on. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for being along for the ride. If you've been here a long time, as always, we are so grateful for you, for all of your support and kindness to us over the years. It's been fun. It's been really fun. And I'm hoping to continue the fun in a different way. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.